He could accept the fact that the city is heading for a disaster of biblical proportion. Biblical? What he means is Old Testament, yeah, man. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the sea rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet and media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. Get this thing out of my... There you go. Okay, the microphone's all in the way. Yes, we're broadcasting live from the WDCE studio. That's a real radio station. Yeah, so you're broadcasting live from a real radio station. So if you are driving down the road and all of a sudden next thing you hear my beautiful voice, well, congratulations, you're actually hearing me on the radio. But if you're not here locally in the RVA, you're not here locally, download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio apps. Download the Simple Radio app. Search WDCE. Search WDCE. Hold on, let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, to search WDCE, and you will see the station. You can then listen to the show. Now, I always tell people that you can see me as well. We'll get into how you can see me here in a moment. But the bread and butter is the radio. Yeah, radio is theater of the mind, right? So I just want everyone to know that unless you're actually listening to the radio or the radio stream, you're really not getting the full show. So if you're popping in and out just out of the video here and there, I'm just going to tell you right now, you need to open up another browser, go to Simple Radio, search, or actually you go to WDCE.org. There is a link on the stream on the website for the stream. Absolutely, yeah. So you can just go there as well. So Simple Radio app if you're not here locally. Or you can go to WDCE.org and listen to it there. Everyone's popping in the chat. I'm saying the chat because we are broadcasting live on Instagram at Sam Newsman on Instagram. At Sam Newsman on Instagram. Broadcasting live, yep, on Instagram at Sam Newsman. May eventually need to try to get over to TikTok, right? We stream on some TikTok. I do have a TikTok. There's at Sam Newsman on TikTok. That's at Sam Newsman on Twitter. I'm all over the place. No, I am. I just don't engage in all of that. Well, I have a busy week. I have to sit there and know about what's going on in the news and everything like that. But did you know that we're also broadcasting live on YouTube? Yes, right over here, YouTube, Sam Newsman on YouTube. So go ahead and search Sam Newsman on YouTube. I've always been told that it's a clear signal over here. It's a clear signal, and it's a different angle. Let's see, a different angle right here. So here we are. I'm right here on YouTube. So if you're watching on Instagram, and it fades in and out, pops in and out, blah blah blah, you can look at us on YouTube because we're here, right here on the YouTube feed. So, but those are the different ways once again to get in touch with us. Been an interesting week. In an interesting week. And of course, my show producer sitting there telling me that he stayed up till about 3-4 in the morning. What? Ridiculous. But hey, listen, all that matters is that I'm here. It doesn't matter what you did. It matters that I'm here, and I'm here, of course, because this is the only show dedicated to the magic of Saturday morning, hosted by me, the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, Sam Newsman, hosted by me, a real puppet. Yes, a real puppet. Yes, so I'm here live on the streams, and yes, I'm real. I'm a real puppet. No, not one of those fake ones. A real one with a real radio show. But once again, shout out to everyone there in the chat. I do see a few people don't have the nope, a little too far away. White Vegeta, I believe. Delmus, Kurt Kenobe. Some other people down there in the chat as well. Triple D, I believe, saw that as well. But the only show, yes, Joe Multiverse in the chat over here, he found us on YouTube. There we go, because we were on YouTube. The Really, Really Real Show. That's right, the Really, Really Real Show, the only show on Saturday morning. Now, of course, oh, man. So I tell you, when I'm sitting there thinking sometimes about what I'm going to do for the show, people always wonder. They're like, "Hey, well, how do you prepare?" And well, this has been a pretty interesting week because I'll tell you, it is. Well, I got this guy back over here. Yeah, you see him? Yeah, the Headless Horseman. Last week, yeah, the Headless Horseman by the Four Horsemen, the Four Horsemen Studios, Four Horsemen Studios, Headless Horseman. Yeah, the last week when the show was starting, I was able to get this guy as the show was beginning. As the show is beginning, now this is the second one that I've gotten from the Four Horsemen. Right, the Four Horsemen. The last one was the Krampus one. I don't know if anybody got the Krampus figure. Yeah, Krampus. You know about Krampus. That was the Christmas figure. Well, now this one is the Halloween one. So then I tell you, and then people ask, like I said, they say, well, what about preparing for your show? Well, I don't have to really prepare too much when something like this shows up, and it's Halloween season. I say it's Halloween season because that's when the time when we all get ready for what? What? No, we can't tell them that part yet. No, we have to wait a few more weeks before we split. Yeah. What? Oh, he's arriving. He is arriving. Oh, okay. He is arriving. That's the Great Pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin. So I spoiled it. That's what's happening. So David Miller saying that Instagram keeps freezing. So it doesn't surprise me. We lost the signal on Instagram 2 times last week. We weren't able to get it, which is why we're here on YouTube. So if you are watching on Instagram, switch on over here to YouTube. I think it's a better signal and it's clear. Of course, I'm right here as well, still doing my thing. I'm not sure how much longer we'll do the Instagram. Well, if it's having that much of an issue, like I said, that's maybe why we should do TikTok. Anyways, back to the Four Horsemen. Back to the Four Horsemen. Need some convo. I'm trying to give you the convo. Hold on, wait a minute. Because I have my producer back there. He's saying one thing. You guys never know about what's actually happening back here, do you? No. So I'll tell you, there is a producer in my ear. I do have a little thing in there, and he's talking to me, but you don't get to hear him, and you don't get to hear him because that would just ruin everything. It would just ruin everything. So you're talking about interesting convo. I always got this convo in my ear. I always got this convo in my ear. And well, yeah, if you people are like, hey, let's call. All right, fine. Okay, yes. All right, I'll tell you what. It's been a long time. But I think we could get the phones open up maybe in the next segment. I don't think we set the phone. Did we set the phones up? I don't think we set the phones up just yet. Write this number down. Don't call in just yet. Write this number down. 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. And you can call in and be a part of the show. Give us a few moments, though. But like I said, real quick, this Four Horsemen Studios, Four Horsemen figure. Someone asked me the other day exactly what I thought about it, to give it a 1 to 10. I said, no, maybe just a 1 to 5. It's a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. But it made me start looking and doing some research about the Headless Horseman. Now, did you know? Created in 1949 by the Walt Disney. Well, it was actually a story by Washington Irving. Let us make sure that we are aware of that. Washington Irving, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. 1949, I believe it was 1949, if I'm not mistaken. Disney created an animated short called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And in that, the song "The Headless Horseman" became very popular by someone who you all know, who sings White Christmas, and that would be Bing Crosby. Yes, Bing Crosby was the one who sang "The Headless Horseman." Very popular song, and was also, like I said, associated with the film. Right? Ichabod Crane. I mean, listen. So, anyways, it got me thinking once again. Okay, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. But the Headless Horseman, like I said, a story by Washington Irving, and then created in 1949 by the Walt Disney Company in their animated short, was able to pull some interesting stuff up. And of course, that's where we'll begin because it is the holiday season. Now, the question is are you doing what you're supposed to be doing right now? And you ask, what is that? Well, you should have a bowl of cereal. And you should have a bowl of cereal and you should be listening to the show on what? Once again, the Simple Radio app or on WDCE 90.1 FM if you are local. Once again, we are broadcasting on Instagram, although it is jittery from what I'm told. And we're also here on YouTube. So shout out to everybody there in YouTube land. Once again, 804 289 UR90, 804 289 8790. Bleh. Tongue-tied in the morning. And don't even remember the number. Well, that's because the phones are not up yet. We'll get them up. So we'll get them up and we'll be back here on the other side of this break, possibly with Joe Multiverse. See if Joe can call in during this little music break here. And we will see him possibly on the other side. Once again, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet and media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Once again, the phone number 804 289 804 289 8790. Once again, to be a part of the show. So was a place and a time when I used to have a crew, and that crew was a crew known by the FLC. What does that mean? Figure loving community, action figures. We love action figures. Of course we do. It is Saturday morning. And, when you woke up on Saturday morning, what did you do? Well, of course, what you did is that you got your toys, you went downstairs, you grabbed your bowl of cereal, and you just played with your toys in front of the TV. And there was a time and a place where I would get in front of my my trusty computer, or whether it be on my cell phone, my tablet, whatever, and I would have a gentleman by the name of Joe, and his multiverse of magic would appear, and of course created the FLC, the figure loving community. And it's been quite a while since I've been able to talk to Joe, so let me see if I can patch him in. I do believe he's here on the phone. So Joe, are you there? Oh, Joe, listen, I tell you what, it has been so long. Can I just say something about Joe before I rip him a new one? No, I'm not going to rip him a new one. I'm not going to do that. No, can I just say, well, I tell you, like, where have you been? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're supposed to, oh, you want me to rip you, right? So you want me to rip you? No, listen. You're... Well, no, listen, I just tell you what, where you been? Where you been? I miss you. And listen, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I wish I would have gotten one of those FLC hats. I'd have been wearing it right now here in the station. Where have you been, sir? I've been missing you, your universe, your multiverse, and what's been going on?
Well, I can't get into too much of the details, but I can tell you a little bit about what I have purchased lately.
Oh, some toys.
On what you're interested in.
Okay, well, tell me exactly what toys have you picked up? What has been included now into the multiverse?
Well, the latest things have had to do with NECA, TNT, NECA, etc. I got some DC multiverse. I don't know if any of your listeners are familiar with the G.I. Joe classifieds, but I picked up a few of those. I got some Marvel Legends. I got one really nice Star Wars figure here, and then also my ultimate favorite, Masters of the Universe. And you and me agree to disagree to agree on that one. So, what would you like to start with?
I guess out of everything you purchased lately, and I'm interested to know, because the interesting, there's a lot of people out there that just collect one of one thing or one of another thing.
Yeah.
And you have been able to find a joy in getting a bunch of different things. So you have a bunch of different things there. So a lot of different figures from across the spectrum, many different toy production companies. And that's so.
I am the multiverse.
Yes, Joe Multiverse, like I said on YouTube, Joe Multiverse. And so this might be a difficult question, but you might be able to just knock it right out. What is your favorite figure that you've gotten out of all of those? What's the one that sticks out in your mind that says, yep, that's the one that stays by my computer, that I kind of keep by on the coffee table, that I'm messing around with while I'm watching TV? And what's the one that sticks out in your mind?
Well, one of my latest ones that is my favorite is from Marvel Legends, and it's the red and gold Spider-Man with his gold tentacle type Doc Ock looking guy here. And I'm sorry I can't speak more intelligently about him, but I've been fidgeting around with him for a long time, and also my little Storm Shadow that I finally got in the mail a few weeks ago, and then I finally opened my Cyclops from Masters of the Universe. And those three figures are the three that I've been kind of fidgeting around the most with. And then other than that, my Masters of the Universe Origin leech. My son showed me some really cool positions that he can be in that I never experienced before. So he's also a favorite of mine.
Well, nothing is better when you do have a child and you're able to share the love of action figures and toys with your kids. And sometimes we sit there and we think, oh man, we used to always play with our figures in a certain kind of way, and then we have our children. They come around and they say, well, try it this way. Well, I would have never thought about that, because you know what? A lot of times we grow up, we lose our imagination. We just need someone who's a child to just come and show us what's. The child needs to come and show us what's up. And the thing you mentioned Leech. What's great about him is he has a little suction cup, so you can kind of stick him on surfaces. Am I correct?
Yeah, I have this figure when I was a kid, and I'm so glad to have him again. And not only does he remind me of my aquarium days with fish and my love of those kind of fishes, but the way my son took this figure and just showed me and goes, how about if you pose them like this? And normally I don't look at my He-Man origins as posable, looking figures or Instagram good looking pictures with them. But the way that he held him up, he just brought the imagination out, and he's the go-to kid. I can let him loose with all my stuff. He always comes up with something good. I just cannot believe it. I could build a company around this little boy.
Well, there you go. Hey, Joe Jr.'s multiverse. How about that? Joe Jr.'s that's what it is. Well, listen, Joe, I'm coming up here on a break here, a hard break. So I wanted to just thank you for calling in. Listen, I've missed you. If you haven't checked out Joe Multiverse, listen, he was supposed to, I was going to give him a bunch of access to some videos and stuff back in the day, but then all of a sudden we all get busy, and I understand that. But I tell you what, some of the best video editing that I've seen in a while, and I miss the FLC, Joe, miss you. We need to tighten up, man. You need to tighten up. Need to see some more of you. Know you're busy, but you know what? What's magical about all of this is the fact that you are sharing time with your kids, having fun with toys and imagination, because really that's all that matters.
And I am, and I appreciate your time, Mr. Sam. And if I just get a chance to mention it, I did pick up the one of the latest Obi-Wan and some of the single card bubble, whatever you call them, for the G.I. Joe, and a bunch of DC Multiverse, RoboCop, and Mojo, and all the other good stuff that came out lately. So I hope everybody else finds their figures that they're looking for, and good hunting.
Good hunting indeed, Joe. It was nice talking to you, and I hope to see you and the FLC in the future. Once again, that's Joe Multiverse. Joe Multiverse. Yeah, amazing. I haven't seen or heard from him in a while. We're going to come back at the top of next hour. We're going to talk about toys again, but this time it's going to be about crowdfunding. And of course, everyone wants to know what I have to say on the HasLab and Mattel's Eternia that is about to come out as well. So that'll be on the other side, where you will hear, of course, my views and opinions. Actually, no, just my facts and information. I don't have views and opinions. I have facts and information. What am I saying? Jeez. Anyways, at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.
human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, that's hysteria.
Broadcasting live from the WDC studios out of the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet and media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. The phone number 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Did have just had Dave, deep cut Dave, now drive time Dave just call in, and you guys are just telling me that it hung up on him. And maybe if Drive Time Dave is still out there listening, Drive Time Dave can call back. There we go. I bet that's him probably right there. Let's see. Hello, is this Deep Cut Dave, Drive Time Dave? Dave, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Trying to get the mic levels and everything. Let's see. Make sure that you're tuned up here. And okay, Dave, I think I can hear you now. I think everyone out there can hear you. So how are you, Dave? What's been going on, sir?
Well, I'm presently stuck in traffic, so
Well, that's why we call you Drive Time Dave. Drive Time Dave, being stuck in traffic every Saturday morning. But you do have the opportunity to call it. Now, Dave did send me a deep cut list. Now, I have the deep cut list. I'm holding on to it for another week or two. But Dave, I was talking about the legend of Sleepy Hollow a little bit earlier. And do you have any information or data or some deep cut knowledge about the legend of Sleepy Hollow?
well, a little bit. And it's funny, Irving actually based the Headless Horseman. Have you ever heard of a Dullahan?
Could you explain what that is?
Well, that is an Irish ghost. It's a headless figure who sometimes rides a headless horse.
A headless horse.
And they use a whip made out of bone.
A whip made out of bones, riding a headless horse. And this is from. You said this was from Irish.
Ireland, I believe.
Ireland. Okay. Ireland. So there was some kind of a basis for the Headless Horseman based on that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I was very interested in the fact that in 1949, Bing Crosby was very popular back then as the one when they would play the Headless Horseman theme song on the radio. It was one of those things where, he was the most popular singer at the time. And of course, he was the one singing it on the radio. So that was popular back then. Well, I didn't really realize exactly how popular it was. Of course, here I was hard at work doing classified news and everything as the most trusted puppet in media. But Dave, listen, you sent me that list. And of all the things that you sent me the list on, I wanted to ask you one question. And the question is that of all of the cartoon Halloween specials, is there one in particular that you like that maybe other people have not heard about?
Oh, geez.
Just one. Gave you the little curveball right there.
The Trouble with Miss Switch.
The Trouble with Miss Switch. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, it's one of those. I watched it and when I was a kid, barely remembered it, and just caught it last year on streaming. It was I want to say Ruby Spears that did it.
Ruby Spears.
Yeah, it was about a witch. She goes undercover as a teacher, and she tangles with a warlock.
Well, that sounds just like school and education, if you ask me. I mean, so right, that's teaching, that's education 101 right there. So warlocks and witches.
I got horror stories about that. Let me tell you.
I'm sure that we all do. God bless our teachers, though. We love them. We kid. Well, Dave, listen, I don't want to keep you too much longer. You're deep in traffic. Need a bumper to bumper. Unless you have the pillow out, you're not. You got nowhere to go. I hear that. Well, let me tell you what. I think that I have somebody about to call in on the other side. So I'm going to let you go. But thanks for calling in. I do have Deep Cut Dave's list, Drive Time Dave's Deep Cut list. So he did send me a list of some amazing Halloween specials. We are going to be playing those the closer we get to Halloween. Dave, drive safe out there. And if you're not moving anywhere, just grab a pillow and go to sleep listening to my beautiful, amazing voice. So, oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, well, we won't tell them about the other time. So, but you have a wonderful weekend and we'll hear from you next week. Hopefully. Well, if you're driving a truck, you'll still be stuck in traffic. They're still stuck in traffic next week when we reach out to Dave, and when Dave reaches out to us as he's stuck in traffic. Dave, you have a good weekend, sir. Deep Cut Dave, Deep Cut Dave is very interesting because he just always has a lot of information. And like I said, he did send me a list, and we are going to be playing that list. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about here real quickly, and I do believe that someone else is going to be calling here shortly, I believe, is this HasLab. Well, there's the HasLab, Dodge, Vengeance, whatever, the Ghost Rider HasLab. Looks like it's not going to get funded. And these crowdfunding projects, what happens is you have these New York Stock Exchange publicly traded companies that have these toys that they want you to buy into that they're not going to send you for about a year and a half. Yeah, so to pay $350, they get to sit on your interest, the interest from that money, even though they already have the figure made. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, oh, it's a render and it takes us all this time for us to make it, blah, 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 blah. But that's not the case. A lot of times they already have everything tooled and everything and done. The reason why I know that is because I know people in the industry. But with that being said, nothing is probably more upsetting and depressing is this new Eternia. Did you hear about this? $550. Eternia was a playset that came out for the Masters of the Universe. Now, I remember somebody said it looked like Six Flags. Six Flags. No. I think it's The Wonderful World of Dizternia. The Wonderful World of Dizternia. It does. It looks like a theme park. A little monorail, because Skeletor used to get on the monorail so we can go from one snake area to the other. And it just has to go. Yeah. So the Wonderful World of Dizternia. $550. Going to give you another $50 for shipping. After taxes, going to be about $600. The original one came out in 1986. Like I said, it was $90. Now, if you take for the inflation of the dollar, what happens is that the dollar from 1986 to now is about 260, I believe, something to that effect, I believe. Maybe 230. I don't know. I don't know the exact number. I had it earlier in the week, but anyways, well over $200. Not well over, but over $200. And then here you have Mattel that is going to make you pay that times 3. So 3 times more than already with the inflation of the. So there we go. So and they have this thing already done. It's been out to comic conventions and everything like that all over the place. But they have it done. $550, $50 shipping. But accounting to the inflation of the dollar, and then it's 3 times more than that, about 600 and some change after shipping. But don't get upset. Well, I know I'm not going to get one. That's way too much. Way too much for a playset. And specifically because what happens is that when you do this, it kind of sets a precedent for these companies to then go ahead and start raising prices even more and more. I mean, listen, if you have the money, you want to go buy it. I'm not going to tell you what to do and not to do with your money. But all I'm saying is that what you need to do is you just need to make sure is that if you're going to get this thing, that thank God you're not living in Europe because they are having to pay $925, 950 euros, equates to about $925. And then after shipping and everything there, ends up being about $1,070 or so. I believe I saw the number 1,000. well over 1,050. That's for sure. So if you're complaining about, oh, it's too much money here in America, well, good grief, if you were out in you're out in Europe, that'd be terrible. You'd be terrible. Be terrible indeed. But once again, here we are. Once again, broadcasting live. 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. I believe I have someone calling in here and just there you go. Oh, well, I think they wait. Okay, well, I think that somebody should be calling in here in just a moment. I said, what? Wait, the phones are down. No, the phones are not down. The phones are not down. Yes, Johnny Depp did have the best Headless Horseman. Yeah, well, no, Johnny Depp was the best Ichabod Crane. And Johnny Depp was amazing in that. Once again, being the stud that he is. Oh, man. Hollywood. Oh, yes. Well, no. I don't think so. No. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, the robot French fry machine. Yeah, the robot French fry machine. That's not real. That's not real. A robot French fry machine. Never heard anything about a robot French fry machine before, but not really sure. Not really sure. But I tell you, what is very interesting is that, oh, wait, huh? Yep. See, now all of a sudden I'm here mid-sentence, and now you have to sit there and tell me now that they're on the phone. Broadcasting live, it's Saturday morning with Sam, Newsman. Caller, are you there?
I'm here, Sam.
Oh my gosh, it is TNT Nate. TNT Nate, how are you, sir, this morning?
Doing great, Sam. Sorry I got cut off last week.
What was that all about?
General Shu has something to do with that.
He's out in the field. He said he's out in the field. So I'm not sure if he's going to be around this morning or not, but he did say he was in the field last week. I think he might be in the field right now, if you know what I mean.
Meaning around my house somewhere, cutting off my signal, I see.
Yes, cutting off your signals because they're watching you, TNT Nate. You're spilling.
The story I have this week, Sam.
Oh no, is it about the Cowboys? Is it going to be about the? It's not.
No, we're on a winning streak. Let's not talk about that.
Let's
just keep it as is, Sam. We're going to keep that Cowboy streak going, okay?
Okay.
And I know, you're a Buffalo Bills fan, and some sad news, happened for you guys. Sorry about JT there.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I tell you, the Buffalo curse. The Buffalo curse. The Buffalo curse. Good grief. But I'm sure that you have something that you wanted to say because you said you had a story, maybe a prediction, something that's going on in the news. What's going on?
You know how Future Collector always talks about robots?
Correct.
Well, figure it out, Sam.
What's that?
There's robots everywhere because they're going to turn us all into robots, and not just metal robots. There will still be human beings. The inside of us won't be so human. Remember how I brought up synthetic, Sam?
Correct.
Well, I found something called the MAC address phenomenon.
Wait, what?
The MAC address phenomenon. Do you know what the MAC address is, Sam?
No, but you can tell us right now.
Let's find a way to explain the MAC address. Shortly, sweetly, I know I got to go soon, so here. The MAC address, they're used to identify devices, local networks. They use them through Bluetooth technology, which I'll get to that in a second. The MAC address, what it stands for, is a unique identifier for network interfaces. And I didn't want to get too nerdy, Sam. It basically, it's a media access control. But I had to say that because you are about to be the media access control, the human body. Well, so I guess you will not be.
No, of course, yeah. I'm not saying.
I don't think this is made for puppets yet, Sam. So don't worry about that.
Well, of course, we're immune to everything.
I know it's just unfair. It's ridiculous. But we have to worry about this, and they're actually finding out that this is, oddly enough, Sam, the vaccinated are giving off Bluetooth addresses.
Oh Lord! Oh my goodness! You know what? Here we go again. Oh, well, a Bluetooth. Where, who's from whose mom's basement did you read that from? Who's? Listen, who's?
Insiders
You want to know why the general's cutting off your power? It's because of this. It's because you're keep.
What? I could be exposing the truth here, Sam, and you don't have to believe me, but I'm just here to tell the listeners to look up the MAC address phenomenon. They can find all the sources themselves, and I'm sure General Shu will have enough and probably shut me down this week too. I feel like he's always around, Sam. I feel like he's always around.
Well, listen, I tell you what, if you're getting this classified intel and you're telling that people are Bluetoothing and sending off MAC addresses, the only thing that really matters to me is that if I'm sending off a Bluetooth signal, then at any point in time, I need to be able to just wiggle my finger and get a French fry delivered to my house. TNT, Nate.
They got robots making better French fries apparently too. So
See how you
you're a huge French fry fan, Sam, so check that out.
Oh man, so somebody said that. Somebody said something about robots and French fries. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
It's time to get rid of us humans, Sam, and I think you're safe as a puppet.
Well, that's what. Well, here I am on Saturday mornings doing what a media puppet should be doing. Is
But tell your collector to look out for that MAC address phenomenon. I'm sure that could probably help him up there. He may not even know about it. He's just being chased by robot dogs and robot mosquitoes. It's ridiculous, Sam. We're getting inked. Getting inked. It's an old
well,
term. We're getting inked,
you,
buddy. But I gotta go. I'm sure General Shu's somewhere. Hold up, I gotta.
wait a minute. Wait, hello, Nate. Wait a minute, Nate. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Oh. What happened? No. Did they cut the hard line? No. Daggone it. I mean, just. Well, he probably would sit there and say that it was because of General Shu. Probably just cut the hard line because he was a Cowboy fan. Anyways, TNT Nate, finding whatever he's reading on the internet. Not really sure what he's reading on the internet. Bluetooth signals and sending off signals. Good grief. Well, listen, I don't have to worry about sending off a Bluetooth signal. I'm a puppet. A real puppet, and we're broadcasting live once again from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. 804-289-UR90. 804-289-8790. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So we got another call here coming in. Let's see. Going in. Let's see. Do we have? So, caller, you are live here with Sam Newsman. It is the most trusted puppet in media. State your name.
Samuel. I'll do no such thing.
Oh, General. Oh my gosh, General. How are you, sir?
Samuel, I'm doing as I always do. Needed to call in this week. You know your responsibility, and needed to address a couple of things. Listening to Mr. Firecracker over there, you're gonna have to reel him in a little bit, Samuel. I'm not so sure about what you're allowing to propagate the airwaves, so to speak. MAC address, sound like the guy's been on too many Apple computers, and I would just remind your audience everything you need to know about MAC address would be what we would tell you about it. So you can find out about it from us. Otherwise, it would be illegal to research that information on your own, Daniel. So just disclaimer.
Right, similar to science. Like you're not supposed to look up science on your own either, right? And that's
Trust the science, Daniel. Trust the science. Why would you need to look it up?
Trust the science. That's correct. That is correct. I was told something about robot mosquitoes with barcodes. Are you familiar with that?
Robot mosquitoes with barcodes. What an absurd proposition. We're way beyond that right now.
What do you mean way beyond that? What? Sorry, that's classified. Sorry.
Robot birds, robot fish, robot shark, robot wolf, Daniel. We're way beyond that. Listen, at the end of the day, if we're talking about having metal legs, wouldn't everybody like to have metal legs? That's really what we're talking about. And if you could log on to your computer through blinking your eyes 3 times, wouldn't you want to do that, Daniel? We would only use it for the good. You know that.
Well, of course we would. Of course, yes. To continue to promulgate the human race, one microchip at a time. One microchip at a time.
Well, Daniel, keep up the good work. Reel your boys in, and make sure my guys sign up on your paperwork before you leave the office today. Okay.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, General. That's the general in the field. See, I knew. Okay, so maybe he did cut the hard line from TNT Nate, and then. Hey, listen, hey, listen. Okay, you guys in the back. Listen, I know that you got the guys in the black suit in the back, right? Okay, listen. I know I've been doing this since Roswell. The general said I've been doing okay. Still need to hear about this robot French fry machine thing. I'm not really sure about that or what's going on with all of that. But here we are once again. It is the 8th day of October in the year 2022, and it is 10:25 a.m. Now, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to be playing some cartoon songs, some sitcom songs, and of course, I'll be back on the other side of that with what we learned today, some other news and information, and of course, my beautiful voice singing as it always does. Now, before we go, just to let you know, if you are a toy photographer and you shoot action figures, you can save 15% when you use the code SKYDRO at extremesets.com. That's Skydro, SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Your photographs, your toy photography photographs may not look as good as Skydro walkers, but you can at least save 15% while trying. Shout out to Cato's collection in the chat and Instagram. Cato, we're also on YouTube this morning as well, broadcasting live on Instagram at Sam Newsman, broadcasting live on YouTube, and broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet and media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I see. Oh, wait a minute. I've been doing this the whole time, and I didn't have the mic muted. We're broadcasting live on Instagram, broadcasting live on YouTube. You're still getting used to this. You're doing all this at one time. I mean, here I am. I'm on this, and I'm on that. But don't worry, because I know that what you might be thinking. Well, Sam, are you going to come back next week? And the answer is, of course, yes. I will, of course, be back next week. Why would I not be? The thing is are you going to be? Until then, just know that I'll be around. And like I said, what was that again? Cartoons? Yes, cartoons, action figures, video games, the only radio show dedicated to the magic of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. Tell your friends, let them know. Oh, and oh my gosh, we are on another community votes, RVA community votes. Just type in RVA community votes or community votes RVA. Go to services, click on local DJs, and you'll be able to vote for us, nominate us. I think you have until December to do it. I don't know if you can do it every day or not. But we are on another ballot because what are we doing? Setting the standard and raising the bar. And I'll be back next week. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.